Hey, Drew.
Hi, Chris. How you doing, buddy?
Hanging in there. How about you?
I'm feeling good. The Packers won last night. I got the next 3 days off. I'm a happy boy.
How many touchdowns did Rogers end up throwing? He was
Uh,
at
he
two when I stopped watching.
he
Oh,
threw four.
I
Ooh,
can't wait to
not
talk about that game.
not
All right,
bad.
you guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Ba-da-da. Chris is not ready. Everybody
No.
fucking hold on.
I'm ready.
Slam the brakes. All right, let's do this, boys. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the BOTA. I'm James. I am joined today by Drew and Chris. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
What's up?
Going on, Boda World.
Oh, man, we are fresh off of a fat weekend of games, a fantastic schedule.
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't know if we even went over Thursday night. Should we just start there? Or you want to start with recency and go Patriots, Chiefs, Falcons, Pack?
Let's go real quick to Thursday night. I think we can get that one out of the way quick. That's an easy game to talk about.
The third, yeah. I mean, man, Sam Darnold going down there didn't look great. I forgot about that until I just looked at this, but he had a big run. He busted open a huge play.
Yep.
And then gets slammed into the ground, WWE style.
I mean, thank God it wasn't serious. He was able to come back and play for the end of the game there, but I don't know, man. This Jets team is bad.
It's real bad.
That
And,
is an understatement. They couldn't beat
Yeah.
the third string. Literally every starter is injured on the Broncos.
Yeah,
I know.
no, it was literally the Broncos practice squad and Bradley Chubb.
Mhm.
And Jerry Jeudy. So if you can't beat a team like that, I don't think there's much hope for anyone there. I can't believe Adam Gase still has a job.
I'm actually a little shocked, but I shouldn't be that Bill O'Brien got the axe first.
I think they would have got it
Adam
at the same time.
I honestly kind of forgot about Bill O'Brien. I think I just thought he was invincible at this point, and the Texans were just like, all right, fuck it. You can't fire me if I'm the GM, you idiot.
Yeah, I thought they had dug the hole so deep that they couldn't get him out of there, but they pulled the whole plug on that shit after clearly seeing that DeAndre Hopkins trade was a fucking arguably one of the worst moves in recent history.
Oh, good old David Johnson.
Uh,
Brett Rippin? Is that how you say his
Yeah.
name? Ripon?
ripping.
He honestly didn't do that bad. He didn't look awful. There were definitely some moves there where he looked like an undrafted quarterback.
Yeah.
But overall, I was like, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
the Jerry Jeudy touchdown, if that wasn't Jerry Jeudy on the other end of that, wasn't a touchdown. That was an interception.
That was also just awful defense. I don't that
Horrid.
probably would have been an incompletion otherwise, but man,
I mean,
that was not a good throw.
No.
3 interceptions though for 2 TDs, but for an undrafted free agent having to start, it's not terrible.
He got you the win. That's really all they can ask for at this point, I guess. But
Hey, he got the win. That's more than they
Yeah.
could bargain for. So
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Instead of 0-4 like the Jets, they are now 1-3. So, you know.
Mhm.
Someone
Yeah,
had to win that trash bowl.
Someone had to win.
You can't
Okay.
take one of you wins.
So I think we're going to go to Monday and then we'll bounce back and go through the Sunday slate.
That sounds good.
Dude, let's just talk right about it. Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, Jarrett Stidham. Whew.
Bad.
Whew.
Bad.
I want to touch on that though. Is Hoyer was bad with time management and critical thinking.
Hoyer was
Yeah, I
no,
don't think he's
no. Hoyer was bad.
he wasn't great. Don't get me wrong, but his 2 biggest weaknesses. I mean, everyone remembers 10 seconds left in the second half. He decides to get sacked instead of throwing it away and end up killing the ball.
Was that the
Yeah.
timeout one?
No, that was the one where they literally had like a couple seconds left and they were at like the 5-yard line or something. And Hoyer dropped back and he was in the pocket for like 4 or 5 seconds, had all the time in the world to run out, throw it away, whatever he wanted to do, and he takes a sack to end the half. It was awful. Awful play.
Brian Hoyer never change. Also,
No.
on that note, Cam Newton never get injured again.
Well, I mean, never
Oh.
I mean,
get
it comes
COVID
back to
Never
again.
get COVID, I guess, yeah.
He's a lifetime backup. Like, that's not things that he has to worry about all the time. And it got the best of him. And his throws weren't horrible. Don't get me wrong. His critical thinking was bad. Knowing when he threw it with the receiver tight on someone's back, like that's a throw that never should have happened.
No.
That should have went in his mind. So his arm is not bad, but I think it was funny to see the difference between Stidham and Hoyer, because Hoyer throws the bullet passes. Stidham definitely throws the lob balls. And
yeah, I mean, and Stidham didn't play all that bad either, I wouldn't say, when he came in at the end. I mean, he threw the touchdown into Keel, and then Julian Edelman forgot his hands in Foxborough last night. I'm sorry, but that was really rough. He dropped a couple really bad passes.
No, Jules.
yes, he yeah, he literally forgot his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much else you could say to it, Chris. I'm not making fun of you. It's just like
No, that's all you
There's
can.
nothing I can say to defend it. Yeah.
It's unlike Jules to drop that many, although he does lead in drop passes. So
I'm just hoping he's not starting to go the Wes Welker route, because I'd hate to see his
no.
career kind of end in that same fashion. You know,
hey,
Wouldn't be
he's
great.
fine until his helmet is 3 sizes bigger.
fair,
Then you gotta worry.
Double, triple helmet.
but
Big story out of this is Damien Harris coming back. Sony Michel saying, peace on the IR, bitch. And Damien Harris, man, 17 carries, 100 yards.
But 0 targets.
Nada.
That
Straight
is
run.
gonna haunt them. Damien Harris can run the ball. That's great. We know that. But you gotta get him targets.
yeah, absolutely. They need to utilize what they have left in the backfield to.
That's what I'm shocked about. Is all our running backs are basically receiving backs too.
Yeah, Rex
And
Burkhead should have been more
You could
involved
spread
too.
the field. Yeah, exactly. You have White, Burkhead. You don't have Michelle anymore, but you have Harris. I mean, you can easily make that work, and they just hardly threw it.
Yeah, it's definitely feasible. They decided to stray away from that for some reason. I don't know if it was a clock management, hold the ball as long as possible kind of strategy, but not going to work against the Chiefs.
Sadly. Too
Can
good.
you talk about the officiating at all, or
Oh, the fucking incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was bad.
no?
That
So
was
they didn't
really
even
bad.
call it. So one, you're talking about the interception.
Fumble. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was technically a sack.
yeah,
So it wasn't incomplete. They called it a sack.
right.
So
And he was just pointing down on the ground like he was saying that the defender was down. It was just terrible all around. And it didn't give Bill Belichick the right chance to challenge what he wanted to challenge, because he didn't know what the call was, because they didn't make that clear. Yeah, that was just bad. That was bad.
it was just, I mean, I was at the game in Gillette, last year for the Chiefs game, which had horrible officiating, and I'm still upset about that. But then you'd think it'd be over with, and then, oh, hold on.
We're gonna push through on that one.
How do I?
Chris, you're crushing it right now.
I can't just like turn it off.
I'm oh, there you go.
He
Attaboy.
figured it out. There he is.
Welcome back.
So, anyways, so last night you're like, this is the Pats' next opportunity to show them what they got. Even with a backup QB, I said the defense can hold it and the offense can just get small amounts of points. We'll be fine. And we would have been the first at least the first half.
Shocked about that scoreline.
There were a couple
I agree.
calls that went wild both ways, but that one, I mean, that would have been, that was an easy, at least get a field goal out of it. We should have had at least 4 field goals by halftime. So
Yeah, it was rough for the Pats offense, that's for sure. They missed Cam Newton pretty bad.
defense did hold Mahomes pretty well.
Yeah.
The defense played really, really well yesterday, I will say.
But
They're
yeah, that's
definitely...
a game I think all Pats fans would like to forget and move on. So let's move on to the Packers.
Yeah, Drew, let's talk about your boys because last minute I had to pick up a tight end because I didn't realize I had Jonnu Smith in. And Robert Tonyan almost won me a game last night. Did not, but almost.
Robert Tonyan is the real deal, man. He fits really well in that scheme. Aaron Rodgers loves him apparently, and he's finding him for touchdowns, man. That's huge.
Well, that's what I was saying is like, I think we posted about it today. But when Devontae comes back, I mean, you assume he's going to be the guy to stretch the field. Aaron Jones can be the guy to charge the field. Tonyan might be the guy to finish the drives. He might be the red zone target for whatever Aaron Rodgers, I almost said Aaron Jones, has to throw.
Yeah, I mean, the Matt LaFleur offense is working wonders, and
Yeah.
it's utilizing the guys that they have, and it means everything that Aaron Rodgers has bought into it fully this year and has had a big hand in developing that system into not Matt LaFleur's anymore, but kind of a Rodgers-LaFleur hybrid. And Rodgers is getting to make the throws that he wants to make. He's getting the protection in the pocket. Man, every asset or every facet of this offense this year looks phenomenal. And they're doing it with backups a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So when this offense is fully healthy and everyone's firing on all cylinders, I don't know that there's a defense in the league that's going to be able to stop them.
We'll see. It's hard to say, honestly, because if they have everyone healthy out there, they got the momentum now, man. They're 4-0.
Yeah, they are rolling, man. They are rolling.
But on the flip side, we live in a reality where the Falcons are 0-4. Matt Ryan didn't do much. Their lead, Todd Gurley, borderline non-existent. Cool, he got 2 touchdowns, but 16 carries for 57 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Todd Gurley. This is not that Gurley we know.
Again, everyone's injured. Gurley, I mean, maybe not Gurley, but you have Ridley and Jones both injured. Ridley got nothing.
Calvin Ridley caught 0 passes. He did not get one single touch that game.
Yep. And
Julio was out at halftime. Gurley had no chance. All they had to do was stop Gurley, and that was it.
That's literally what's going on with the Falcons is your receivers are unhealthy. And so what do? You just go extra on the run game. And you
didn't pay off.
And then the Falcons defense doesn't do much to help either because the Falcons should not be 0-4, but yet they are.
Yeah, I mean, that's another area that I think the Packers did really well in is stopping that run game. They brought some interesting pressures with the secondary. They really filled in the gaps that they had up the middle with their exotic pressures and the outside pressure from the Smith brothers, quote unquote. They're great. Such a steady presence there. But Atlanta's just got to get healthy. I don't think that's been their issue really the last couple years is either their defense, offense, or both are just shambles.
It's
at all times.
I think the defense has definitely been in worse shape than the offense. But this game, I mean, what was it? Julio went out. Calvin Ridley went out. Their leading receiver was Olamide Zacchaeus.
With what?
Who? Whomst?
Yeah. What did he pull?
8 receptions for 86 yards. Russell Gage, who started off the season hot, non-existent. 2 for 22.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's getting it done with no names, but actually, no, he's not even getting it done. He's just performing. He's out there playing.
Yes, that offense is awful. The defense, like you said, I mean, basically every healthy defensive back that they had going into that game got hurt in that game. So I don't know who the fuck's going to be out there playing defense for the Falcons next week, but we'll probably have never heard of them. Almost guaranteed.
Stay tuned.
But yeah, we'll see who they pick up this week. It'll be interesting. But I don't see any hope for them moving forward until they can be healthy. And
I agree.
I don't see that happening anytime soon.
They need to do some big defensive changes because that's literally what it is. The offense still was able to put points up. I mean, granted, Julio and Ridley are very borderline hurt, they're missing a game left and right, missing practice. I think even Gurley was out, I read today, of a practice. I believe
I'm
so.
sure. I'm sure, man.
But anyway,
he's
it's
still
like
running bone on bone.
Yeah, so
Literally.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer Todd Gurley's gonna last, though.
No. But we're charging along. We're talking about running backs that have been able to stay healthy. Alvin Kamara has another monster game for the Saints as they beat the Lions 35-29 to improve to 500, 2-2.
A game that they scored 35 unanswered points in. It's the Lions. A big bounce back week for the Saints for sure. Helps to get a team that's a little low on luck coming off a lucky win against the Cardinals. But I don't know, man. I think the Saints, as long as Kamara is healthy, they're a contender. As long as Breeze has someone to check it down to.
I mean, you got to expect his pace to kind of die off. I think, ideally for them at least, Michael Thomas should be back this week. That's still up in the air. They if they're performing this way with just Kamara, I think just give him the rest. Make sure he's fully 100%.
Yeah,
like you want him for that last push.
Like the Packers did with Devontae Adams. But
right.
Yeah, exactly. If you can give him the extra time, if you're performing well enough. I don't know who they play next week, but they can probably fight through it.
Yeah. It's going to be like the Bucs or something. Hold on. I'll fast forward and check that out.
The Bucs play the Bears on Thursday.
The Saints play... Don't even see it. So we're just going to move on. Oh, Saints play the Chargers next week. That's actually... Chargers have been surprising. We'll get to them a little bit later.
That'll be interesting, actually.
One of my biggest takeaways from this game is it was good seeing DeAndre Swift get a little more involved. I mean, he only got 4 rushes, but he was targeted. I don't see how many times, so I'm gonna blow past that. But receiving wise, 4 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown shows versatility.
Yeah, I mean,
finally using him.
Yeah, for sure. It's good for him to get out there, get the catches, get some more confidence in the hands.
It just sucks that he's on the Lions. Poor guy.
It does very much suck that he's on the Lions. I agree. It's a crappy place to end up, especially now that Adrian Peterson's there. It's
dumb. Chris, do you have any notes about this before we move on?
No, I think the Saints were a little slow to start, but once they heated up, literally they just dominated. There was no coming back,
Fair.
So,
Truth.
That it was a pretty easy game to explain. That's exactly they were slow, and then once they woke up, they just kind of took over.
Yeah.
All right, our next game on the block was another phenomenal game in the slate, and we just kind of alluded to them, which is a super convenient. The Chargers fall short to the Bucs, 31-38. They're 1-3 right now. Bucs flip that to 3-1. Tom Brady is on fire. He doesn't give a fuck. Ronald Jones, 111 yards on 20 carries. He was just getting fed the ball. And Mike Evans went out injured for a bit, still came back and got 7 receptions, 122 and a touchdown. Oh, big note, O.J. Howard, dead. I mean, his Achilles, but Achilles is dead.
Yeah, Cameron Brate got the touchdown last game. Their tight end depth is one of their strengths for sure. So
insane.
Not too worried about that there. Sucks for OJ. Love him as a player. Hope he gets better soon. But I don't think it'll be a huge blow to this offense. Brady is firing on all cylinders and still likes throwing touchdowns to the other team, but that's okay. The 5 touchdowns make up for it.
On the other side, injury-wise, Austin Eckler, who was kind of underperforming already, out. I don't know how much time, but he's out.
Yeah, I think I saw 4 to 6 weeks was what he was expected.
I mean, like I said, he wasn't doing a lot, but that's a big loss. So if you have Joshua Kelly, play him because he's about to get fed.
Yep. What's his face? The other running back?
Justin Jackson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Either one of them are good picks. Bad week for running backs.
So, I mean, getting to the Bucs here is, again, how I kind of feel for Brady because, granted, he is still throwing pick sixes, and until that stops, it's going to hinder him. But also, you guys are proof that half of his receivers, really, other than Mike Evans and Godwin, who is out, I forget the kid's name, whoever number 10 is.
Scotty Miller, baby.
6 drop passes before he catches one. That's how it was last week. That's how it was the week before. And until so Brady's getting pissed off, and I think he got really pissed off this week. But he also broke his own record. 5 touchdowns to all different receivers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Brady's starting to get pissed. I think Mike Evans is hurt and continually hurt, and he wants to be out there, but he's getting agitated.
Well, Mike Evans. I feel like if he's not out there, that offense is definitely going to struggle. I mean,
that's why he's out there, even hurt. Yeah.
Right. You have to throw one of them out there, Evans or Godwin, and it's just whoever's the least hurt. If one of them can perform, they'll be out there.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Ronald Jones is doing a good job of shouldering some of the load and giving Brady his options back. But it's going to be a struggle if they can't stay healthy. And
yeah,
maybe you have to try and get Gronk a little more involved in the passing game. He's been almost non-existent in that facet of the game. So,
well, I think with OJ out, he's got to be
very quiet.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been using him for blocking more than anything this year. So,
Gronk is still a blocker, but he has lost that touch though. If you look at him just run down the field, he looks like he's a lot slower, and I don't think he has the power that he used to. So.
Yeah, and he's probably scared because he's older now, and he knows how fragile he is. So.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him run a couple more routes a game, but we'll see.
Yeah. He had a great catch, so.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the hands for sure. He's got the ability to separate and get open, I'm sure, but I don't know. It's an interesting situation at this point.
Let's move along. Let's keep it rolling. Show. Battle of mediocrity. The Bengals finally get their first win against the Jaguars, 33-25. In that, Joe Burrow throws 25 for 36, 300 yards, and a TD and an interception. Joe Mixon exists again, 151 with 2 touchdowns. And Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, running. They're just 90 yards for Tyler Boyd. Kill me. Hey, good. Dog's not barking now. 90 yards for Tyler Boyd, 77 for T. Higgins.
Yeah, the Bengals look good. The Jaguars continue to underperform at this point. They've lost back-to-back to the Dolphins and the Bengals. So definitely not looking good down in Duval County.
Just underperforming all around.
Yeah, no, they straight up are. James Robinson needs to be better on the ground. Minshew needs to be better throwing the ball. The defense needs to step up. You can't let up that kind of game to Joe Mixon at this point when you're needing to win. I don't know. Both the teams kind of suck. So
yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's a good confidence booster for the Bengals, who have been kind of itching that and getting close, but never really finishing it off.
Yeah, and with the Browns winning there, and the AFC North is shaken up a little bit. The Ravens look good this week, but they're not invincible. So with a 1-2-1 record, it could certainly be worse for the Bengals.
I'm not I think we keep talking about this. This is going to be the reoccurring theme for the Bengals, but if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm not upset about that. We have a losing record. You have a losing record, but it's really not that bad. There's a lot of promise.
Yeah.
A few more pieces and you turn that right around.
With an offensive line would be competent at a college level, I think they'd be good.
Yeah.
But that offensive line is awful, man. Fucking
Here
awful.
we are. Awful.
Here we are again.
So let's move on. Let's talk about the final nail in the Bill O'Brien coffin. The Vikings, who I will stand by are still bad, come in and beat
100%.
them 31-23. Uncle Kirk, 260 for 1. Dalvin Cook rushes for 130. And then Justin Jefferson continues his hot streak. Adam Thielen stays Adam Thielen. He got 114 and JJ got 103. So the receiving core was actually getting it done. And David Johnson, man, 16 carries, 63 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he'd have a bigger week. That Minnesota defense has been real sus for the start of the season.
Purple sus.
Purple big sus.
Where?
The offense, that Vikings offense is got all the potential in the world, man. When they're working, they're working. Dalvin Cook's a monster. If they can work off of that, Thielen's still getting his touches, Justin Jefferson working into his own over there, that offense can be dangerous. But they're playing too many high-scoring games to keep up right now. And they're lucky they got to play a team that was coached by a baboon this week. But
Speaking of, do you know who steps in as interim coach?
no.
Romeo Crennel, baby.
Ooh, okay.
Good old Romeo.
Very interesting.
I have no bad feelings about Romeo Crennel. I just love his name. It's so good.
Fair. No, I really like the thought of the Texans going after the Chiefs offensive coordinator, forget his name, for head coach next year. I think that would be a pretty good combination of him and Deshaun Watson, and maybe they can find a receiver for him. Will Fuller's been all right, but he's not a number one.
So. No, I think they need help on a lot of things, but they're not going to get it in the first round. So
no. Or the second round for that.
Or the second round, actually, yeah. They're going to have to wait. Hopefully they can get something done in free agency, man. Just anything. Draft, get some low-key stud. You got to do something, though.
There needs to be moves made down in Houston, or this team's going to be an abyss, and Deshaun Watson would need to get out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get that man some people that can catch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, the Cardinals got the better end of the deal, as we knew at the beginning, but it's showing now. Just now you have it in cement that it worked. The Cardinals clearly lucked out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they've been rocky the last couple weeks for sure, but there's a couple tough losses for Arizona.
Yeah, you know what? Should we just jump right into Arizona?
I'm down.
Talk about them since we're already there. We'll loop back around to the other 1 o'clock games.
Yeah.
Man, Carolina. That's 2 straight weeks of upsets?
Yep. They're making it work down there with Teddy, and Robbie Anderson continues to be a solid pickup for them over the offseason. And
don't forget about Mike Davis, by the way.
Mike Davis stepping in for Christian McCaffrey. What an ask for a backup running back, and he has done phenomenal. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
It's dangerous.
They're impressive.
I love it. I love that for Carolina. It's a team I don't hate. It's just shocking.
Absolutely, I agree. And Matt Rule is making it work down there. I love to see it.
Oh, I kind of forgot Matt Rule was the coach. I'm now off of Carolina. Carolina's a dog shit. I almost said school. Carolina's a dog shit program. Fuck Baylor. So there's not much really to talk about with that. I don't really know what's going on with Kyler. I don't know if it's even him to blame. I think the defense is just full of holes, but
yeah,
133 and 3 touchdowns, still not a great performance out of this kid that's supposed to be a star.
No, I mean, he's scoring. He's just not driving them down the field consistently. They're giving the ball back too much, and the defense can't handle it. They need to rely on their offense to keep possession of the ball and play defense with their offense, more or less, because until they get a couple more key pieces on that defense, it's never going to hold up.
Mm-hmm. Kyler also led in rushing too, though.
Yeah. He's making it work with his legs this year too. That's something you can't deny.
Scary.
But they're not getting wins out of it as consistently as they should be.
Let's talk about a team that is getting wins. Transition, flip, jump. How are you? Hi, welcome. We're talking about it. Seahawks 31, Miami 23. Didn't doubt that for a second.
Why did that take so long to spit out?
I don't know. Dramatic effect.
Dramatic effect.
Yeah. Russell Wilson's just on an MVP pace again, and I really hope he gets it this year. Or at least gets a vote. Somebody give him just a pity vote, for fuck's sake.
Only 2 touchdowns this week, though.
Yeah, but 360 yards, I'll take that out of a quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I'm surprised that Miami had that many points on the board.
Yeah, this was a really tight game for a while, man. This was a 1-score game until Seattle blew it open, but much better game than the score would tell you. Miami's not terrible this year, honestly.
Really not. They're another team that looks like they're a couple pieces off of actually being solid.
Yeah, and it's not really a winnable division still now that the Bills have kind of taken over as the big hitters of the AFC East.
Yeah, it's even still it's a top heavy division. Even if you're not like counting them,
right?
I guess besides the Jets, but Patriots and Bills kind of are gonna not even kind of are gonna own that for the next few years, and it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be a battle.
100%. Those Patriots Bills games are gonna be a blast. I'm excited.
When's the first one? Does anyone know?
Chris,
when's the first Patriots Bills game?
That I do not know. I think it's later
Fired.
in the season this year. Let me look now.
I think for some reason I thought it was one of those weird splits where they only have like 1 or 2 weeks in between.
They do. It goes. I'm pretty sure the last like 4 games go Jets, Bills. I gotta look. Hold on.
Okay. Well, while you're looking that up, we're gonna talk about what was almost disastrous. It was almost very Browns. But my boys, I had faith, not a lot of faith, but I had enough faith to call them. Came in. Offense was firing on all cylinders. The Kevin Stefanski system is just showing. OBJ looked like classic OBJ. And they came in and beat the Dallas Cowboys 49-38.
yeah,
And I'm going to die on this take. The Cowboys should be 0-4.
I agree. If it wasn't for the stupid fucking Atlanta Falcons, they would be. But that's okay. That's okay.
all
The
right.
Cowboys are awful, absolutely garbage.
So bad.
You want to talk about a division where it's real nice to be 1-2-1 right now, where the Eagles are on top with that record.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the Browns looked real good. OBJ with a signature OBJ game. His best as a Brown, easily so far.
Not even a question.
Loves playing at AT&T Stadium. Loves beating up on the Cowboys, which is never something that I am not happy to see.
I think that was probably the best game the Browns could have had to show that they're still there is against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean,
ruin
their confidence and just shoot theirs through the roof.
Yeah, I think they go from a mediocre 2-1 to a strong 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
This is a high powered offense, which I expected them to be better. I did not expect this. This is a different level.
And even with Nick Chubb getting hurt, hopefully he's back soon within the next 2
it's
weeks
just
or
a sprain, I think, which is the best case scenario, getting rolled over like that.
But I think that they have some decent depth. I think that they could be pretty versatile even with Kareem Hunt there. Anyone that you can throw in to complement him is probably going to do decently.
Mm-hmm.
And if Odell can prove that this is turning over kind of a new leaf for a stretch, that would be awesome. I would love to see that. I'd love to see a revival of Odell.
It's if they can stay at that high power, though. Like, I mean, that confidence boost hopefully helps them for a long time. But if they can't, fuck up anymore, because then they're just going back to square one.
I mean, they're playing next week. They have a really tough matchup. Again, they're playing the Colts. So the Colts have been sneaky good on defense. Their offense has been pretty decent. They're going to have to show up again, but I mean, we'll talk about that on the next show. My takeaways from this, I'm glad to see, I thought it was going to be Kareem Hunt just going for it, but I mean, he still got 71 yards, but to Ernest Johnson, who I've loved, he's a little bit slower as a back, but he almost got 100 yards. And then Dontrell Hilliard was involved as well. So it's good to see, like you said, the depth. They're definitely going to be running a rotation. And then Dak putting up 500 yards and 4 touchdowns is impressive. Obviously, without the win, it's all right, what the fuck's the point?
Dude, if you look at Dak's motherfucking stats and his yards, the touchdowns, and then look at the Cowboys' record, it's mind-blowing.
It's gotta hurt as a Dallas fan.
You look at the quarterback stats alone, you say that team's probably 4-0 or 3-1. They are 1-3, should be 0-4.
Yeah.
That's scary.
What I was going to say off of those stats, though, and they kind of overshadow what Baker did out there. 165, 2 touchdowns, 19 completions on 30 attempts. But it was one of his strongest games. If you watch him, he's not really making dumb throws. He let a couple sail. He looked great.
I agree.
he's transforming into what what I have been hyping up for like all this time. Like we're seeing a progress that is going past where he was rookie year. So way
I
to bounce
agree.
back, my man.
I think it's huge. He's starting to utilize all of the weapons that they've provided him on offense. Austin Hooper got involved, had the touchdown this week, which is nice to see because he has been non-existent in Cleveland so far, basically all blocking. But he's a big weapon on offense. He's a big target, and I think Baker can utilize him pretty well. And spread the ball around. It'll open things up for your stars. And OBJ proved that this week. I think the Browns can build off this. This is a huge momentum game. And if they can beat the Colts this week.
Yeah. I'm not as worried about the comeback. Oh, sorry, Chris, go for it.
No, I'm just saying they just got to keep that confidence that they gained this week, and they can be. They should be fine.
Yeah, just go out there and perform every single week, and I think that's kind of what Stefanski's like pushing into them is like you got to earn this. Like cool paper, like we've talked about. It's like cool, you're great on paper. What are you doing on the grass?
Yeah.
What are you doing on turf?
Beautiful thing.
What was I going to say? I'm not super worried about the defensive comeback. The defense was actually pretty strong. They kind of pulled back, rightfully so, like shortly after Chubb got injured and they pulled away more just to prevent other injuries. But goddamn, they got to get Sendejo out of there. That guy sucks. I hate him. That's my point on that. So we're going to move along. We're going to go into the AFC North again in another game that no one should have questioned. The Ravens 31, Washington 17.
I mean,
Damn.
I think the only real shame here is that they put in Robert Griffin to throw a pick and give Washington another score.
Good RG3.
That score should have been even worse.
Yep.
The Ravens are dominant again against a really, really shitty team.
Yeah.
That is only like a game out of first place or half a game out of first place in the division, which is fucking ridiculous. But anyways, I don't know. I have nothing to say about that game. What happened. Terry McLaurin definitely looks good as a number one wideout still.
Yeah.
There's nothing
plenty
to
of
say about
yardage.
the game. The Ravens, I honestly, other than like you said with RG3 throwing a pick, like they could have kept him in the whole game, not even had Jackson start, and they still would have won.
Yeah.
They're just that team.
Yeah, and Washington's just that bad. So
yeah,
I mean, especially with no Chase Young.
I see the promise. I see the
the potential is there, but
no match for the Ravens yet.
No,
they don't have red zone targets. They don't have any way to really finish drives. No.
Just no. I got to give it. I mean, I've been hyping him up all year. At least Antonio Gibson looks like he can do decent. Nothing great again. He's gotten touchdowns in 2 straight games, 46 yards this one, which wasn't great. But also the Washington line, also pretty fucking awful. So the fact that they can do that with a awful line, if they get some actual pieces up there to protect and give them gaps, maybe we see more out of Gibson.
Yeah, like I said, the potential's there. They just need to fill the holes, and they're in a really, 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 really easy division. So anything's possible. So, scarily, yes. But yeah.
All right. Sliding along. Another 0-4. Let's talk about the East some more. Giants 9, Rams 17. I really thought the Rams were going to run away with this one a lot more. The interception towards the end, I think, unbelievable. Great fucking play. But damn, Daniel Jones. I think it's time to give up on DJ.
Yeah, Danny Dimes has become Danny Duds. He's not the answer, man. Go get Trevor. Fuck it. Saquon's out for the year. Tank, do it.
Get it over drop.
That's the thing. That's the reason that we're saying Daniel Jones is bad now, because he doesn't have Saquon to make him look at all good. Saquon is the biggest part of that offense.
Yeah, but he still has weapons, and he's just not making it happen.
I mean, his weapons are nothing without Saquon at least overshadowing,
That's not true. He's got other running backs. Wayne Gallman's proven that he can at least touch the ball.
Oh, touch the ball. Yes, prove it.
Provide a distraction. You can give him the ball to work off of a run game. They have Devonta Freeman. He was involved in the passing game, but not enough. It's Daniel Jones is not the answer. They need a quarterback that can work with the weapons that they have without Saquon. They can't rely fully on Saquon.
But I think this game also goes to show, bringing it to the Rams, that they can't put up an insane number of points.
True. We did think they were a lot higher power than they are proving to be, especially against a really bad Giants defense.
Yeah, I agree.
Very good point, Christopher.
So that's like all you have to say about that game, though. Like, there's not much. DJ is not the guy, and the Rams aren't as high powered as we thought.
Yep.
Yeah. Fair. So let's move along. Let's go to a game that was almost surprising until Derek Carr. The Bills beat the Raiders 30-23. Dad, every time I want to have more faith in Derek Carr coming back, he does something. Was it a fumble this time? Yep.
Yes, sir.
Derek, my man.
That Raiders team is so close. So close.
They're teasing it, man. They're like right there. They're right on the cusp of turning it.
Derek Carr has to be better, or they need to go find someone that can be.
I know.
It's at the point where their window is starting to open, and if Derek Carr is going to be the one holding them from going through it, they need to go find somebody else, because that team is talented, dude.
I mean,
and John Gruden is a hell of an offensive mind. I will say he finds ways to. He finds ways to make very, very interesting pieces work.
Chris, you got some points down there?
Josh Jacob had a very quiet day too, which we kind of predicted the Bills would, stop that run, but the Raiders just didn't have it in them.
No, I mean, those are really the only two weapons at this point, are Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs. So
Ruggs was out, I think, right?
Yeah, Ruggs and Edwards were both out. I think Ruggs also is turning into more of like a project receiver. Yeah. So once he gets a little work in there, I think they need a veteran to like kind of give them some guidance. And I don't think Nelson Aguilar is the veteran you're looking for.
He's been pretty good.
Not bad.
He had what? Didn't he have 2 touchdowns last game?
One. Singular. 44 yards, 4 receptions, 1 touchdown. Still.
He's catching the ball.
Look at the bright side. He's at least holding on to it. Yeah.
His hands are not just bricks anymore. He can catch a little bit. Attaboy, Nelson. Love to see it out of you.
Not much else to really talk about on this one, I think. I think the Bills, like, they can't get caught like they were here. I mean, Stephon Diggs had a good game, but still.
That's 2 really tight games. They're bringing it down to the wire, but I don't know. I have confidence that they'll continue to be a solid team. Josh Allen, if he keeps playing like he is, will be in the MVP conversation. But I don't know. I like the Bills moving forward.
You gotta. There's no way you can't.
Right.
So, still moving forward. The Colts beat the Bears 19-11. Both are at 3-1 right now. Nick Foles, first start of the year, 249, 1-1. David Montgomery was borderline non-existent. And then Allen Robinson is still like ageless, timeless. He's so good. He's so good. Damn it.
Yeah, but the Bears offense is so bad.
So bad.
So bad. Nick Foles sucks. Mitchell Trubisky sucks.
Mm-hmm. And the Bears were still 3-0 somehow.
3-1.
Well, before this game.
Yeah. You're right.
I know I'm right. Thank you.
I don't know what to say about the Bears, man.
I don't know what they do. I think they're in another position where they don't necessarily tank, but you got to kind of give up.
Yeah,
they can have a winning season. They're 3-1 right now. If they can just come together like they have the last not including this week, but if they can scrape out wins again, might make wild card.
Yeah, but
I'm not optimistic.
as bad as the Vikings are, I think that they finish ahead of the Bears in the division. And nobody is gonna touch the Packers. So I don't know. I think it's
touch the Packers.
dude, come on.
To the point.
Dude, come on.
Time will
Dude,
tell.
come on. Dude, come on.
Gonna touch the
Come on.
Packers. Oh,
Come
Aaron Rodgers'
on now.
collarbone. Oh.
Come on now.
Come on, boy. It's all right.
They're going to win the division.
You're all right,
That's-
boy. Yeah,
you
there's
know
no
that.
question. No question.
So I don't see any point in the Bears trying. They need to go get a real quarterback.
Oh, they need a lot. They need a fucking lot.
I think that's the starting point though at this stage. That the offense has weapons. They could be good. They just don't have anybody to lead the charge. So,
No, we're talking about the Bears, not the Chargers.
shut the fuck up, James. They don't have anyone to bear the load. Are you happy?
Ooh, there you go.
All right.
Was that a Colts joke? Okay, so moving on. A game
They don't
that
have anyone
shouldn't-
to buck the trend.
I don't get what you're talking about now.
Okay, sure.
You're just saying
Cool.
bullshit.
No, that was
Word
a Colts joke.
So, games that shouldn't have been won, games that were choked away, games that or a game, not multiple, just one. Philadelphia 25, San Francisco 20.
Who saw that coming? Anybody?
None. None of us.
I like to see San Fran lose, so I can't say I'm upset.
Yeah, I'm not upset about it, but I like the Eagles to lose too.
Yeah, but they're 1-2-1, so I'm
Yeah.
okay with them getting a win. That's fine.
Jesus Christ, George Kittle almost got 200 yards.
Yeah, George Kittle went fucking off. He had like 40
183.
fantasy points. Yeah, he had like 13 catches for 183 yards.
Dude,
He
whoever
was
didn't play George
insane.
Kittle this week, that's brutal.
Yeah, they are.
You know, there's people out there that are just looking at George Kittle in that 40 spot on the bench.
Yep.
Debo is back though. That was great to see. Brendan
Yep.
Ayuk starting to find his kind of rhythm in there. That fucking
That
The
hurdle was
Woo!
wild. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god, he cleared him clean.
yeah, not even like a
Clean.
slight touch. That was
Nope.
an insane jump.
Woo. They got some exciting young receivers over in San Fran there. Once that team's back and healthy, and I think Jimmy G's an effective distributor of the ball, at least.
It doesn't have to be that effective. He has Ayuk and Debo Samuel who can just run a slant, and you give it to them, they're gonna find space and
Well,
go.
That's why I said distributor
Oh,
as opposed to like any other word that I could have used. He can get the ball to those guys, and then they just do the rest, including George Kittle. That is the ultimate run after catch team down there.
Mhm.
So
fair.
I don't know. When they're healthy, they're good. That defense is hurting real bad though, so I don't see them really doing anything this year. And Nick Bosa, honestly, is probably the biggest game changer in the league right now.
Oh my God, Nick Bosa, and then they lost Ziggy after 2 games.
Yeah, they are
Torn
they
bicep.
are
Mhm.
all fucked up.
Brutal on the edge. So the Eagles were able to take advantage of it. Carson Wentz still looking fine, I guess. The Eagles defense is
was
actually
okay.
surprisingly efficient too.
Yeah,
I have to look at their actual rankings, but they're top 10 in a lot of categories.
yeah, they've been good.
Surprisingly.
I don't know. They're a better 1-2-1 team than most, I
Yeah.
guess. Once they start getting some pieces back from the
Most.
injury, they'll be
The
they'll be
only
better.
team that's 1-2-1.
Bengals.
No, the Bengals are also 1-2-1.
You're right. Never mind.
Gun to
I
your
mean,
head right now.
like-
You have an open position. Are you taking the seat for the Eagles or are you taking the seat for the Bengals? Head coach.
I would much rather step into the Bengals job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of good young pieces over there.
Yeah. Way less injuries too somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking
And-
of that, like they were putting out scrubs. Travis
Yep.
Fulgham, Fulgami.
Oh, God.
God, dude, they were down to scraps in the receiving core.
Lots of teams are at this point.
Lots of teams are at this point.
Look at Green Bay, dude. The highest round that receiver that caught a ball in that game last night for Green Bay was drafted was either the third or fourth.
Which is impressive. That's good drafting.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
at least you have
absolutely.
the talent to put it out there and stand. I mean, granted, you have
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, who's going to take the lion's share of whatever's out there, but cool. At least you have other options.
Yeah, I
Alan
mean-
Lazard's core.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Just
He was
one
fine.
day,
He was
just
fine. He's like, my
I'm
hands.
just gonna go get some core surgery today, I think.
Yeah, BRB about to go just rip open my core.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen. Wow, that was quick. We did it. Nice
Good
job. Wow.
Woo.
You know, I'm starting to see a common trend about why these go a little bit longer, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to be that guy. All right. I'm not going to call out anyone in
between you and me,
particular.
it's usually Drew, but I won't say anything.
I was
That's
going to
fine.
say it was Royce.
He knows it. He knows it. You have good points though, so why care?
Yeah, we're here to talk about sports. I'm
I know,
gonna
right?
talk
Yeah.
about sports.
We're here to talk about sports and bullshit. That is what BOTA
There
is.
weren't many games
Exactly.
to go in depth from this weekend.
Yeah, I think that played a big part in how fast this. So many games that were just like, yeah, this happened. All right, moving on.
There's not much to say about a lot of these. They were fun games, but kind of the story was there. Like a couple mistakes, took advantage of it, and there we are.
Also,
And
I did my
injuries.
research. Pats play Bills week 8 and week 16.
Halfway and at the end. Ooh.
That's rough.
Ooh.
If that
also
ends up
play-
being like a playoff spot, that's rough.
I forgot that the
Those
Pats
are
have the
fun.
hardest schedule because they also play basically every team that has over 2 wins.
All right, hold on. I gotta see.
We play the Ravens. We play the Cardinals. We play. I gotta look
Jesus,
it
you're not
again.
even kidding. Broncos, which I mean, should be a wash. 49ers, Bills, Jets, wash. Ravens, Texans, wash. Cardinals, Chargers, Rams should be interesting. Dolphins should be actually interesting, and then Bills, Jets. Whew.
Yeah.
That's tough.
And also, quick update on news. The Bucks had almost everyone out of practice today, and they also play Thursday. So they need to figure out what the hell they're gonna do by Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
Literally tomorrow. Yes, I forgot today was Tuesday.
Dude, I gotta say, I'm actually looking at the Browns out of curiosity. We're looking at a pretty we're almost at the toughest part of our schedule because we had the Cowboys. That should have been tougher than it was. It was a battle, but still, the Colts should be a battle. And then we play our first game against the Steelers. We play our second against the Bengals, and then the Raiders, which could be a question mark. But we don't play the Ravens again until like towards the end of the year, and then we finish the year against the Steelers. After going to MetLife 2 weeks in a row, I think.
Damn.
Oh God, we're going to MetLife 2 weeks in a row. Fuck.
Damn, that
Oh.
sucks.
All right. So we're gonna end this. We're just fucking. I don't want to think about the future anymore. That's the worst part of being a Browns fan. Don't anticipate the future. Just live for the moments that you can enjoy.
Yes.
You know where to find us at BOTA Sports, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. I think we just started a UFC Twitter too via Mike. I don't know what the name of that is actually. I'm gonna be honest. Just
UFC.
It's BOTA UFC.
Something.
We're gonna start a kayaking one. We're still waiting on Toba.
Toba is taking off shortly, as well as BOTA curling.
Nice.
We are now into competitive curling.
Love it.
Gets intense. Winter's right around the corner. You can never be too early with it.
Is there summer curling? Just on a lake, you just throw a rock and see if it'll stay up. Spoiler, it never does.
Dive into the water and call it.
Oh boy.
Just try to throw a rock through a really thick puddle. Anyway, thanks. Fucking rate this, follow us, like this, whatever you do. Just enjoy it. That's all we really want you to do is enjoy life, enjoy us, and just have a good time. That's what
Yeah.
BOTA's for.
You don't have to enjoy James.
Having a good time. I don't know what you said, so I'm going to agree with you. Good call, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, Drew, Chris, closing statements. Hit it.
Go Browns, man.
Woo!
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. You heard her here first on Toba Sports.
Stay tuned for all your kayaking and toboggan news.
Kayaking and curling needs.
Stay beautiful, y'all. And we're clear. Done.
All right. I